Today I'm going to show you how to make this quick and easy card using the stamp set Fleurs and the Attic Boutique Designer Series paper. So first we're going to start with Poppy Parade cardstock, and it's a standard card size. This is 5.5, 8.5, and then you score it down the middle at 4 1/4. So that's your standard card front. And then we're going to use a piece of the Attic Boutique Designer Series paper. And this is cut just a little bit smaller, 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So we're just going to add some snail around all the edges. And then we're going to layer that to the front. Make sure we don't have the image upside down. So I like to line it up by putting the bottom of the paper towards the bottom of the card, and then I'm kind of centering from the left and the right side. And usually if you get the bottom and two sides even, you're going to be pretty good at the top. So if it looks good, then you just kind of press that down, and we'll set this aside for just a minute. So now we have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is cut 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. And we're going to stamp this cute little image. It's a pen with a flower flourish coming out. We're going to use Poppy Parade cardstock. Normally I would do a twist, tap, tap, but you want to be careful here that the twisting doesn't wiggle that off. So I just kind of walk it across the ink pad. Get it nice and inky. And actually, I'm going to set this aside because I want to stamp the words first. I think it'll be easier if I stamp that first. So I have the thanks image here. So I'm going to tap, tap, make sure I'm not upside down. And then we're just going to line it up to the lower left side of the paper, set it down, and do just a little wiggle. And you can see that's nice and straight on the paper. A tip for making sure that your stamp is on the block straight is to go ahead and ink it up, and then you're going to just line up the edge of this block to one of the lines on your grid paper. So it doesn't matter where, just kind of line that up from the top and then stamp it down. And if it's straight on your grid paper, it's going to be straight on your cardstock. So there you go. So now we have this image. We'll go ahead and ink it up again. And I'm just going to kind of angle it like this. And this one might want to wiggle a little bit because of that skinny little part right there. So I just kind of gently press it down and hold it as I press the top, and then lift it up. We're going to add some embellishments in the corner, some of our rhinestones. And on the rhinestones, when you get the pack, you'll notice that there's 3 lines of the rhinestones here on the side. They're all connected, so if you go to pull one up, they're all going to come up. So I like to take an X-Acto knife and just kind of cut between the rhinestones, and it separates the adhesive so you can use them individually. And on this card, I'm going to use a large, medium, and small. Now when you're picking up the rhinestones, if you use a pokey tool, it'll help to make sure that you get under the adhesive, and then it lifts right up. So I'm just going to set this one down here and press it down. And then I'm going to go for medium and line that right underneath. And then we're going to grab one of these small ones over here. And we'll put this right about here. And there you go. Now the other thing on the rhinestones, I don't know if you can see here, but this is where someone didn't pick up the adhesive. And the rhinestone might have enough sticky on it to stick temporarily to your project, but it'll definitely fall off. So you want to use a pokey tool and make sure you get under that adhesive. Now the Whisper White cardstock is a nice smooth surface, so you get a nice solid inking of the images, but it is a little bit thinner than our standard cardstock. So I want to pop it up with dimensionals, but I don't want it to be a little on the wobbly side. So I'm going to use scrap chipboard to layer underneath. It'll sturdy it up a little bit, and then I can add my dimensionals. And I use the chipboard, the scrap paper that comes in the back of the Designer Series paper. You'll kind of recognize the little stamping that's on the back. And I just cut that up and use it for scrap. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive here. And we'll put this on the back. And I cut this just slightly smaller so I make sure it doesn't stick out and nobody knows what I've done. And we're going to use some dimensionals. I'll probably use 6. I use a lot of dimensionals. So we'll just layer these on the sides and down the middle. And you'll notice at the back of the dimensionals, the paper lifts up really easy. So it's easy to remove. There we go. And we'll come back to the card. We're going to just layer this right down the center. Get that nice and even. When you like it, you give it a good pressing. And you're all done.